Universities have been around for many centuries, going back to dates as early as the 1100s. These schools used to be free of cost since they were supported by the church or government at that time. Since they were free of cost, only a specific amount of studies were provided to students who attended these colleges. These studies included none other than law, medicine, and of course, education. Classes back then would begin at 5 o'clock in the morning and would take approximately 6 years to earn a bachelor's degree. Anything higher than that would take an accumulated 12 years to complete. Things didn't really start off until the 1700s when big name schools such as Harvard, Virginia, and Yale took over. These schools offered tuition only to wealthy males who could afford it, while women couldn't even earn an education at this time. Moving on to 1870, we can mark the start of what we know nowadays as tuition. Back then, the cost for a whole year of education was roughly $150, which is equal to $3,000 in today's society. This would go on for about 50 years until the 1920s when things started to rise up. Coincidentally enough, the Roaring Twenties consisted of a 20% rise in enrollment in both male and female student bodies. This rise in student bodies made tuition rise from $150 a year to $250 a year. Back then, this was a huge milestone because this would be the beginning of what we know as regular rising tuition. In 1944, the US government passed the GI Bill. The GI Bill granted any military personnel free or reduced cost in tuition for any college of their choice after World War II. This bill was amazing for military personnel, but for everybody else, it caused tuition to rise. Tuition rose from $250 a year to $630 a year. This is equivalent to $11,300 today. Fast forwarding to 1972, only 49% of high school graduates would actually go on to college and continue their studies and actually take advantage of the Higher Education Act of 1965. The Higher Education Act of 1965 actually granted students in need of financial help in order to continue their studies the help they need to get educated. Why was this passed? Well, students were struggling to pay because tuition had risen from $630 a year to $1,410 a year. In 1997, student debt was taking a bigger toll than ever. Students had to change their lifestyle in order to pay the debt they had accumulated over their college years. Students would go on to get their diploma, but not even use it after. In 2005, tuition rose to $21,235, which meant even more students had to get more loans, which unfortunately these loans weren't even small enough. They were enormous loans, so students were only burying themselves in the debt that they had even seen. In 2008, comparing fees from 1982 to 2008, we see that tuition has increased 439%, while income has only gone up 147%. This would show that tuition is only going to keep on rising until the years to come. In 2012, the cost of college education was about $33,000 on average. High school students would attend college at 60% and would drop out at an astonishing 6.1%. In today's society, in 2018, college is averaging $36,000 a year for public colleges, and the dropout rate has risen to 12%.